Welcome to Retired for Life. I'm your host, Brian. I retired a few years ago after 30 years in a factory job as a machinist and a millwright. I needed to rediscover what life could really be like. When we purchased this property, the house had stood empty for over a year, and the property had been badly ravaged by poor logging practices. Since my retirement, I've been working to renovate the home and restore the surrounding forest to its natural beauty and attract wildlife back to the property. Join me as I learn about nature and working with wood to create the backdrop for this new chapter of our lives. Well, hello YouTube, and welcome back to Retired for Life. So we're back down at the Bowmore building site. I put another coat of stain on there. The floor looks really good. We've got all our lumber stacked here for the bridge, but I can't get the tractor down there right now. So we've got one day today before we get 2 more days of rain. It's not like we're getting a lot of rain. It's a pretty small amount, really, but it's enough to keep things non-stop muddy. So that's a real nuisance. I want to get this done. I want to get back to the house. So what we're going to try to do, this sounds pretty impractical the more I think of it and the more I look at it, is I'm going to try and use my old sleigh here. Take the 6x6s down one at a time on it. I don't know. Sounds crazy, right? Maybe it'll work. So I need to take some 4x4s down there, a couple of 4x4s down there first. I'll just carry those down and get a spot to pile this lumber so that it's right there. And then we'll actually take one of the 6x6s and put it in place and see how it looks. All right, let's get to work. Oh, that feels pretty good. Yeah, that works all right. All right, there's all our lumber. That's good. Let's do a test fit of one of the 6x6s. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to need to clean these two boards off. Now these are pressure treated boards, but I'm still going to clean them off and then give them a coat of roofing tar before I put these in place. But yeah, not bad. Yeah, I don't think there's too much doubt that that's going to hold up the ATV. I think I'm happy with the foundation here. So Sarah and I are Just back from taking a few days off. We went in to Kingston, went out to Wolf Island, and spent a couple of days out there celebrating Canada Day. So that was a very nice break. We had some pretty nice weather, but of course this morning it rained all morning. But didn't rain much, so things don't look too bad. And it's not supposed to rain again today, and we may just get a little bit tomorrow. So we are moving ahead with this. So foundation boards are in place. I'm just kind of setting up with this one beam to make sure I've got things where I want them. I'm going to get this beam out of the way here, and then both of these boards are going to get a liberal coating of tar. Because of the way they're sitting, water could sit on them, and because they are a mating piece for our crossover beams, I want to make sure that or I at least want to try to prevent as much as I can water sitting in there and rotting things in between the beam and the baseboard. So we'll get this out of the way, get our gloves on, and start putting some tar down. This is where it gets messy. All right, there we go. All right, there's our first beam. So let's put a couple of screws in it. I think I can get away without these now. All right, there's our first beam down. Let's just check beam to beam here. Okay. Let's try 20 and 20. $22. That's fine. There we are. Now, I want to lay an end board on here to see how my lineup looks here before we go too far. All right, that looks like it's going to be good. Okay, let's secure these two down. Whew. There we are. All right, we are back to the tar. So again, I've got this top beam here that my plates are going to go on. And because it's up and it's a joint, we're going to tar it. And then we'll get our boards in place on the top before we do the end ones. So this one has got, or a couple of them, have got a couple of cracks in them. So really good to get this tar on and down in those cracks. As I suspect that that's where rot will start. The diesel and oil preservative that we have on these will also help keep bugs away, so you're not going to have ants wanting to burrow into them or anything, as they won't like that oil and diesel. All right, let's get our boards in place. So what happens when we come in with one of these? Okay, I think we're going to be good here. Uh-oh, I can hear thunder. I can feel it cooling off very quickly. Yeah, and there's thunder over that way. It's getting dark. All right, that's got all our top boards locked in. Now these boards are placed so that the bow or the warp in them is up. So they may warp a little more. They have a very, very small bow in them right now. And that's good because that's going to help the water run off of them. You don't want that so that it's cupped up kind of thing, because then it will hang on to the water. All right. Let's get a look at our end boards. And let's hope this storm goes around us. So I am going to need to lay a few logs in front of these as I planned to do. But yeah, I think this is going to work. Let's get our tar in place here on this end. I might as well go ahead and tar both ends. So this is the end grain here. So getting a good coating of tar on this, I think, will really help. Let's go ahead and put this one on. It's coming at us. Okay. This is actually starting to look like a bridge. Oh yeah. Let it rain. All right, guys. This is closing in real quick. Let's give this a strength test before we run. I would say we're good. Yeah, that looks good. All right, guys, it's time to run. All right, folks. Oh, there's a garter snake down here sunning himself. Away he goes. So we managed to get back out of here before those showers came through. And, clearly it didn't add up to much. But there's a couple more things I want to do here, and that is filling in these ruts on this side. And I just happen to have a couple of downed trees laying around that I'm going to use, and we're going to lay in there so that we're more ready to roll off of the this side of the bridge. So let's get the chainsaw out and we'll get to work on that. All right, guys, we've got the steel MS-162 we're going to use for this job. And let's see what we can figure out here. Much better. All right, I'll bring you guys over on this side and show you. All right, so we've got the worst of the drop off here handled, and we've got this rut pretty much filled. That looks pretty good. All right, I think what we're going to do is try it. So we'll bring the bike over and see how it feels. So if this feels good as I come over, we're going to continue up the hill, and that will be the first time that I have managed to get up Dragon's Back Hill with the ATV in over a year. Yeah, that's going to be really nice. So let's get it started. We're going to go easy at it and just work our way across and see how everything feels. So far, so good.
Oh yeah, that works real nice. Hello, Dragon's Back Hill. Well, we made it. Now, it's been so long since I've been up that hill, I discovered that there's a few trees down across the path there partway up, so we'll have to go up and take care of them. But I think we can call this job done and ready to go. Yes, all right, that's it, folks. The bridge feels really, really solid. There's no sagging, no give, no nothing. It's sitting on its foundation really well. I'm very pleased with it. And this just continues to add to the flood mitigation work that I've been working on, because the ditch that I dug down this side of this hill and then directing the water this way at the bottom of Dragon's Back Hill here, this is really good. I'm very pleased with this. So basically we can call this part of the job done. So the bridge is finished, functional, in use. So now it's time to get back to the house. I've got work back there that we've got to continue on. We've got more siding work to do, and we'll see how far we can get with that. So let me know what you think of my bridge engineering. First crack at it was a lot of fun. Way too much rain that really kept us from getting it done a lot quicker, but it's done now, and that's what matters. So if you've got any thoughts, comments, suggestions, anything like that, please let me know. I would love to hear from you. I always get back to everybody that leaves a comment, and I really appreciate the feedback. All right, folks, so remember to stay safe out there, be good to each other, and we will see you out on the trails the next time.
These hands of mine have got some stories to tell. Seen parts of heaven and a whole lot of hell. Headed west to stake a claim in the ground. I got as far as Cripple Creek that night. I met a girl with golden hair and green eyes. Fell in love on the outskirts of town. Hung my hat, figured I'd stick around. Hey,